Hey guys, it's me, Lil Ninja, back with another video, and today we're doing What If Deku Had Awakened Chakra Part 3. Sorry for the misspell on my other video, not yesterday, like the day before that. I'm taking like breaks in between like the middles of the week and making the videos like in those middles, so that way I don't have to make them the day that the videos are supposed to be coming out. So if I posted like something first on Monday, then you can expect for me to post again on Monday. But there is another video that I'm going to be making on Thursday that's going to be coming out on Friday, even though this video is coming out on Thursday right now. So without further ado, let's get into this amazingly crafted what if made by yours truly, Little Ninja. Just to let you all know, there is still no shadows for today, so let's just get into this video.
This shit hot, boy.
Shawty catch a vibe, yeah, I had to put her on. Bought a two-seater, yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty got my high, I ain't tripping for the funds. Yeah, I won't start, I ain't tripping, I'm a stun. Oh, living lively. Everybody tryna ride my wave, they can ride me. Pull up in a foreign to the curb, looking icy. I ain't never stressed about a fit, I'm on hype it.
We would start off with Izuku Midoriya. Basically sitting in class, getting ready for basically the next period, which would have been the hero period, expecting All Might to come in the room, except it wasn't All Might this time, it was Aizawa. Aizawa would sit down telling them to get their hero costumes and to tell them that they are going into they're going to the USJ, or taking a field trip to the USJ. As basically everyone would get their hero costumes on and get on the bus. As well, I didn't in the last part I didn't tell who the president was. I'm just gonna say that it's Ida, like in canon. Izuku didn't really want to be it. He would have also been voted, but he didn't really feel like being it. So instead of like going outside and doing all the things that Ida did, he would have just allowed Ida. Basically, it went towards canon in this version. So yeah, Izuku and everyone would be getting on the bus, and everybody would be talking about their quirks and whose quirk is the strongest. Of course, eventually the topic would become onto that Izuku's quirk is the strongest and the most versatile, since he can do many things with his quirk, as he can basically be as strong as All Might, or even use elements such as fire like Endeavor, or ice, or water, or basically any elements. Not to mention he has those tools that allow him. They say tools because they don't know what ninja tools are, if you catch my drift. Basically stating there's a lot of reasons like why Midoriya is basically the most powerful and most versatile here, as they don't even know all the stops of his quirk. And then Midoriya would start to listen in a little bit more. And Suyu would say, it's not like any quirk I've ever seen. So many ways to use it. And it's only about chakra manipulation. I mean, energy manipulation. As Sue would say that, if I forgot to mention in the last part that his quirk would have been classified, even though it's not a quirk, it would be classified as energy manipulation. Basically allowing him to manipulate the energy inside of his body, basically to get himself registered. With that, Izuku would notice that Sue is starting to get closer to the truth about how that energy manipulation, basically she would think that the energy would basically be the same as it comes out, if it as the same that is in, basically like potent chakra. Izuku would start to think on this a little bit, thinking that he could develop a new element with that idea. So basically, Izuku would think on that, but also would be worry of Sue thinking that she's getting a little bit too close to the truth about his chakra power and basically him awakening chakra. And basically they would arrive to the USJ getting ready for basically saving people. But of course Izuku would sense something's wrong, as Kirishima would point out that there are actual villains. And basically they're fake villains. Aizawa would say those aren't fake villains and would rush out and tell 13 to protect the kids. Izuku would not like this a bit, thinking that Aizawa doesn't, even if he has multiple tricks up his sleeve, Aizawa basically Aizawa does not have a chance against these guys, is basically what he's thinking. Izuku would poof on all of his ninja gear, as he wasn't allowed to poof it on yet. But since there was villains, he knew he would need his sword, his kunais, his shuriken, his everything. Eventually, Izuku would pull out a scroll and would have looked at it. This was the scroll of all the summoning animals. As Izuku looked at the scroll, as there would be multiple signatures and then multiple summoning jutsus. He would look at the toad one, which would also have his signature there in blood. Izuku would look back at the hand signs and would start doing multiple hand signs very fast, and then would summon a giant toad, which would land on most of the villains, stopping them. It would not be about the size of Gamabunta, but around the size of, in the middle of the Gamakichi when he's fully grown, and Gamakichi when he's like in his teen form. With that, Izuku would rush down and would basically start handling other villains that didn't get caught by his summoning jutsu. Of course, the toad would poof, and basically the people that were under the toad would have basically been knocked out. Izuku, readying himself to fight, would start taking down villains after villains, and would eventually see a big villain, or what he thinks would be a villain, although he would see another villain, two villains beside that one villain. As one of the villains would say, "Nomu, get that kid." Nomu, as he is now known, would have rushed after Izuku trying to dodge every turn he gets, but of course getting hit by Nomu would have basically shattered all his bones. Izuku would try to get up, but not being able to move any of his body parts at all. Izuku would not like this, as he was in a vulnerable spot, until Aizawa would come in and start battling the Nomu, and would try to tell Izuku to get out of here. Izuku would say that he can't move at all. Izuku would begin trying to use his chakra to heal himself, as it would be working but slowly, because he was letting the chakra seep out and not actually putting it on the parts that were injured. Of course, his bones would start to regenerate, and he would slowly get up. Deciding that he's not going to leave Aizawa here, Izuku would go into the third gate, as he would have rushed after the Nomu and start blitzing the Nomu, using his speed and his strength just to take the Nomu down so fast that everyone saw was a green blur. Izuku would eventually take out his sword, which would be the sword that Zabuza would have had. Well, I'm gonna say he has two swords. Well, he has multiple swords, but right now the one that he chose would be Zabuza's sword. And Izuku would have used that sword to slash down at the Nomu, which would have cut the Nomu clean in half. And knowing that the Nomu basically was not really human anymore, to be exact, would have shoved a Rasengan into the remaining pieces of the Nomu, sending the Nomu flying into outer space. Izuku would stand back up and would transform back, and then would pass out, as overexerting himself with one of the 8 gates would have caused him to have fatigue and pass out easily. Izuku would wake up in the nurse's office, which would be, I'm pretty sure her name was Recovery Girl. I'm pretty sure that's what her name was. I gotta check. Yeah, I'm not gonna check. I know that her name was Recovery Girl. Izuku would basically look around and would realize he overdid it with the 8 gates. Izuku doing that would actually basically worry all of his classmates. Sorry that I keep cutting off. I just had some delicious food. Let's just get back into this video. Let me see where I left off. This probably won't be the last cut, so just give me like 1 second. Okay, now I know where I left off. So Izuku's whole class would burst in through the doors of the nurse's office, asking him if he was okay. Of course, Bakugo would be in the background just thinking, what is Izuku's power? He didn't have this the last time I saw him. What is happening? Izuku would basically just be thanking everyone for being worried about him, and would decide that maybe he needs to tell them about chakra. Izuku would, after Izuku would be all healed up by using his chakra to heal himself, he would go to Principal Nezu, asking if he could tell everyone about basically chakra. And Nezu would explain that maybe Izuku shouldn't tell them about chakra yet. Only tell them if he completely knows that, well, if he completely thinks that they are ready to learn about chakra. Izuku would tell the class. Izuku would decide that he has the choice to tell the class, and would decide, since he was the one that has the power and has both of the seals, is basically the keeper of chakra and knows basically almost everything about it, and is training to learn all the jutsus that ever existed and possibly even create more. He decided that he will be the one that will basically tell his class about chakra. On one of the days that Izuku is back, before the class would begin and Aizawa would be in, he would decide to tell Aizawa that he needs to make an announcement and that it's about his power. They would notice that he said power and not cork, so everyone would be listening. Izuku would begin to explain chakra and how the 2 seals on his palm are able to basically revive chakra coils depending on how long his family has gone, how long the clans have gone without using chakra. Izuku would ask if they ever want to awaken their chakra abilities, just come to him, and if he can see if he can unlock their chakra. Of course, Izuku would have already known who were the people that could use chakra and who were the people that he would not be able to revive. Of course, none of them would have wanted to basically use chakra, not accepting a power that Izuku could teach them. Basically, they would keep the secret, but of course, there's that UA traitor in there. If you did not read the manga and you don't know who the UA traitor is, I'm just gonna say nothing until you watch the anime or even read the manga. So if you don't know who the UA traitor is by now, go read the manga or even just watch videos of other people reading the manga, because I'm not spoiling that for you. Even though if you haven't even watched the anime and you're watching this, it's already technically spoilers. So I guess I kind of am spoiling it for you. Depends on who you are and if you watch the anime or not. I'm rambling on and getting off topic, so let's just get back in. After that quick assessment, Aizawa would tell the students about the UA sports festivals that will be coming on soon. Izuku Izuku would not be prohibited to use any of his weapons since they don't help his quirk in any way. Air quotes there, as Aizawa would put. And Izuku would know that, he's not going to be able to use any of his weapons. But he doesn't really need any of his weapons because, this kid can shatter diamonds with a fist if he went into his 4th gate. Just the 4th gate. And that the 8 gates aren't even his most powerful asset. So, yeah. Izuku would basically get ready for the UA Sports Festival as everyone else would be able to getting ready for the UA Sports Festival as well. Deciding that they need to basically be stronger, having their little training session like in canon. Of course, Izuku and Bakugo would Bakugo would walk up to Izuku at the end of the day, asking him if Izuku would like to train. Izuku would say yes, actually wanting his childhood friend back, not actually seeing Bakugo in a long time, and basically this being the first time they actually had a real talk besides, the part in the last part. That's all I'm gonna say. Izuku and Bakugo had not talked that much since they were like 4 years old. And this would actually help them to know each other's abilities and basically know what to expect. But of course, Bakugo and Izuku didn't show all their abilities. Izuku not really trusting Bakugo all the way, and Bakugo wanting to have the upper hand on Izuku. Basically, both doing this for their own reasons and whatnot. Izuku would basically get ready for anything that he possibly can in the last few days of his training, and would finally be ready to take on the UA Sports Festival, and basically would have learned new things about different jutsu and different things that he could do with these jutsu. I'm gonna say at this point, Izuku knows about all the main jutsu inside of Naruto Shippuden, like actually all the regular jutsu that anybody can learn. He doesn't know the clan jutsu yet, which the sun and moon seals allow him to do, since they were the seals that were bestowed by Hagoromo. And the knowledge of Hagoromo, him being basically the start of dojutsu and everything. Of course, Izuku does not know that he can unlock certain things yet. And while he has unlocked the Rinnegan, he hasn't unlocked things like the Byakugan or any of the other dojutsu. Which, of course, I'ma still say that he cannot unlock these things. He can only unlock the Rinnegan. Now time skipping to the actual UA Sports Festival, with Izuku being basically the Class 1A representative, would basically have to give the speech, and Izuku would basically give a speech, and I'm not going to give a whole speech about what Izuku would say even in this what if, because I don't feel like it. It doesn't really feel like I have to be honest. So I'm not going to. Midnight, the hero, would spin what would need to be done, and the race would come up, as Izuku and everyone else would be ready for this. Izuku as close to as canon that it can be. Everyone would be frozen, but some few people would have been able to get out of the ice, as this ice would have been caused by Shoto Todoroki, and Izuku would have burst out of this ice and going in basically his third gate would rush out rush past Todoroki, defeating all the robots along the way, and just blitzing past every obstacle that comes his way. Eventually, he would come to the mines, but he would eventually basically make it simple, as he would explode all the mines, zipping through it faster than the eye can see. And that is where I will leave it off for now. I hope you liked the video, and without further ado, Little Ninja out. Also, just in case you didn't get it, Izuku got first place. And, well, you guys know what comes after that.